The mistaken formula Dr. Raiden Miles stood inside the glowing white lab of planet Velmara 9. The alien world was famous for its strange plants, soft blue skies, and female citizens with deep-colored skin and bright glowing eyes. Raiden was the only human in the alien research station, and he was there as a guest scientist under the Intergalactic Peace Program. Raiden wasn't a soldier. He wasn't even brave. He was a quiet man who loved science. He studied alien plants, chemicals, and biological systems. He believed that science could bring peace between humans and aliens. That morning, Raiden had been testing a new nutrient serum. It was made to make alien fruits grow faster and become healthier. It was thick, clear, and had a sweet smell. Raiden had no idea this little formula would soon change his life forever. Across the room, a shy alien girl named Valari entered the lab. She was a young medical trainee with soft purple skin and long silver hair. Her eyes glowed a soft pink. She didn't speak much and always avoided crowds. Raiden noticed her from the first day, but they barely talked. Valari carried a tray of alien fruits into the lab. "Delivery," she whispered, placing the tray on the table. Her fingers trembled slightly. Raiden smiled kindly. "Thanks, Valari. Want to help me with the test?" he asked. Valari's cheeks turned dark purple. "Me? Help with the human scientist?" she said softly, surprised. Raiden nodded. "Just simple fruit testing. I need help placing the serum." Valari stepped closer. Raiden picked up the serum bottle and uncapped it. He was about to squeeze a drop onto the fruit when disaster struck. Valari tripped. Her foot got caught on a loose cable on the floor. She stumbled forward, arms flailing. In that split second, Raiden turned to catch her. The serum bottle in his hand flew into the air. Time slowed. The bottle spun, and the contents flew out, landing directly on Valari's chest. Splash! Valari gasped. She fell right into Raiden's arms, her chest pressed against his shirt. The serum soaked into her skin instantly. Raiden looked down, shocked. I'm so sorry, are you okay?" Valari didn't answer. Her body began to glow. Her chest, her coconuts, as the human soldiers jokingly called alien female curves, began to expand. Not wildly, but visibly. Her suit stretched. She gasped again and jumped back. What is happening to me?" Valari said, eyes wide, hands covering her chest in panic. Raiden was speechless. "I don't know. It was only fruit serum. This shouldn't happen." Valari's face turned the deepest shade of violet. She covered herself with her arms and ran out of the room screaming, "Don't look!" The door slammed behind her. Moments later, a red alarm rang through the building. Alien staff rushed in, eyes scanning the lab. "What did you do to her, human?" barked Officer Zeltran, a tall alien with sharp black horns. "I swear it was an accident," Raiden explained. "She tripped. The serum spilled. I didn't mean—" "You touched her with a chemical. She ran away glowing," Zeltran growled. "It was just for fruit." Raiden pleaded. The aliens didn't believe him. Within an hour, Raiden was placed under temporary lab suspension. His research was locked down. Rumors spread like fire. Alien students whispered about the human who changes female bodies. Some laughed. Some stared. Others looked angry. Valari didn't return to the lab that day. That night, Raiden sat in his room, worried. He had no idea why the serum reacted that way. He didn't even know Valari's species had such a reaction. But deep inside, he couldn't forget the look in her glowing eyes before she ran, the mix of fear and something else. He had to find her. He had to fix this, and more than that. He had to find out what truly happened inside her body. Because that moment in the lab was only the beginning of something far bigger than either of them understood. The blushing alien Valari sat in the far corner of the medical bay, knees pulled to her chest, face hidden behind long silver hair. The glowing lights in the room dimmed around her, reacting to her emotions. Her chest still felt warm and full. She had changed. And it wasn't just her body. Every time she thought of what happened in the lab, her face burned again. She had never been touched by a male before, And now, that human, Raiden, had seen her like that. Not because he wanted to, but because of that strange accident. Yet even in that clumsy, awkward moment, she remembered something that confused her more than anything. He didn't laugh. He didn't mock her or stare. He caught her. He protected her. And when she looked into his eyes, he looked scared for her, not of her. Meanwhile, Raiden was pacing in his room like a trapped animal. His lab access was frozen. His name was being dragged through the mud on alien student forums. Some said he did it on purpose. Others said he was trying to change female aliens into his type. And a few whispered something stranger. That maybe Valari had liked it. Raiden didn't care what they said. He only wanted to speak with Valari, to apologize, to find out if she was okay, and if possible, to make her smile. The next day, he got his chance. Valari came back, but not to work. She came to the lab at night, quiet, careful. When she walked in, Raiden almost dropped the device in his hand. Her chest was still enlarged, but she wore a thick jacket to hide it. Her eyes didn't glow this time. They shimmered softly, nervous, curious. I shouldn't be here, she said, voice shaking. But I need to know. Raiden stepped forward. Are you hurt? She blinked. No, not in pain, just embarrassed. Raiden sighed in relief. I'm really sorry, Valari. I swear it was an accident. That formula wasn't supposed to do anything like that. I know, she said, quietly. I read your logs. The serum only worked on plant tissue, but my body reacted. Raiden nodded slowly. Maybe your DNA has something in common with the fruit. She gave him a small smile. That's a very unromantic way to say you made me grow. Raiden turned red. No, I didn't mean it like... Valari laughed, the first real laugh since it happened. It was soft, musical, and warm. Then she looked at him seriously. I've never let anyone that close before, she whispered. Not even from my own kind. But when you caught me, something inside me changed. I've been thinking about it nonstop. Raiden stayed quiet, unsure what to say. She took a breath. I want to test the serum again. What? On me, she said boldly. But this time controlled. I need to understand why I reacted like that. Raiden hesitated. Are you sure? The council might... I don't care about them, she said, stepping closer. I care about finding the truth and, maybe, understanding what I feel when I'm near you. Raiden's heart skipped. This wasn't just about science anymore. Valari reached out and gently touched his hand. Her skin was warm. Help me, Raiden, she whispered. Let's discover what's really happening to me. Together. And in that quiet, glowing lab, under alien moons, a new kind of experiment began. One not only of science, but of heartbeats, hidden instincts, and unspoken feelings that neither human nor alien truly understood. Science and secrets, the secret lab on the lower level of the alien station hadn't been used in years. It was dusty, quiet, and hidden behind a sliding wall that only responded to old medical clearance codes. Raiden had reactivated it using his emergency access, and now he and Valari stood together in the dim light, staring at the vials of glowing liquid lined up on the table. This is where we'll do it, Valari whispered, looking around. No cameras, no council eyes, Raiden said. It's the safest place to test. But if we get caught... I know, Valari interrupted. They'll think you're experimenting on me. Raiden looked at her. That's not what this is. I know, she said again. Her voice was soft, trusting. They started with small tests. A drop of the original serum on Valari's arm. No reaction. Then a scan of her bloodstream. Raiden's eyes widened. Your cells, they're not rejecting the serum. They're merging with it. That's impossible, Valari said. It's made for fruit. You're not just any alien, Raiden replied. Your genes carry dormant bonding markers, biological pathways that are only activated by strong emotional triggers. like fear or affection. Valari blinked. You're saying my body? Responded because I felt something emotional. Raiden nodded slowly. There was a long silence between them. Valari lowered her eyes, suddenly shy again. I've never had these feelings before, she whispered. I didn't even think I was capable of them. My species doesn't show love easily. But since that day, everything inside me feels different. As the nights passed, their work became more than science. Raiden noticed the way Valari looked at him when she thought he wasn't watching. How her glowing eyes stayed on his hands longer than necessary. How she laughed at his awkward jokes. Valari in turn began to understand the human heart. It was warm, patient, and strong. So different from the cold logic of her people. One evening, something strange happened. Valari was adjusting a scanner when her finger brushed against Raiden's. Just a touch. Suddenly the machine beeped. Raiden frowned. Did you see that? Your hormone levels spiked. Valari stepped back. I didn't do anything. He looked at the screen. Your body responded to touch. Not from the serum, from me. Valari felt her face burn. This has gone beyond the formula, hasn't it? Raiden nodded. Valari, I think your body is trying to bond with me, not chemically, emotionally. She stared at him shocked. But that's forbidden. In your culture, in my biology. We only bond once, and it's permanent. We only bond with our chosen mate. Raiden's heart thudded. Are you saying? I don't know, Valari cried. Maybe. That day in the lab, maybe it wasn't just the serum, maybe it was you. Your kindness, your touch. The way you looked at me. Not like I was strange, but like I mattered. Raiden was silent. Then he stepped forward, gently took her hand and said softly, Valari, maybe we should stop testing. Not because I'm scared, but because I think what's happening between us isn't something we should control like an experiment. Valari looked into his eyes, her hand still in his. I don't want to stop, she whispered. I want to understand you, and I want you to understand me, all of me. Their foreheads touched, and in that moment, the scanner lit up brighter than ever. A new reading appeared on the screen. Bond initiated. Unseen. In the shadows of the corridor, someone watched the glowing lab through a hidden lens, and that someone wasn't happy. The alien gossip storm in the heart of Velmara 9 Station secrets didn't stay buried for long. By the next morning, whispers had already begun. Did you hear? The human and Valari were alone in a restricted lab. They say he touched her again, and this time she let him. Her coconuts are still huge, and now she walks like she's floating. It started as quiet jokes in the hallway. Then, memes appeared on the interspecies board. Then came the name-calling. Fruit Girl. Blush Bunny. Cocovel. Valari tried to ignore it. She walked the halls with her eyes forward, face calm, jacket zipped up tightly to hide the changes in her body. But every laugh behind her back felt like a knife. Every stare made her feel smaller, even when her body wasn't. Raiden was furious when he found out. They're turning you into a joke, he said as he paced the secret lab. All because of something you didn't even choose. Valari sat quietly. I did choose, Raiden. I chose to come here. I chose to test the serum. I chose to be close to you. He stopped. And now they're punishing you for it. She nodded. Because they don't understand humans, they fear what they don't know. Raiden clenched his fists. Then we'll make them understand. We'll publish the results, show them this is science, not scandal. Valari looked away. It won't matter. They won't believe the data. They'll only see a girl who changed herself for a human. Outside, the lab, things got worse. The Alien Council called an emergency session. An anonymous source had leaked lab footage, Valari touching Raiden's hand, the scanner lighting up, the bond initiation reading glowing on the screen. They called it emotional contamination. They said Valari was compromised. They said Raiden had used human pheromones to manipulate her. They demanded he be deported. But the worst betrayal hadn't come from strangers. It came from someone close. Valari's own mentor, Dr. Zivra. A senior female xenobiologist spoke against her. She was a promising student, Zivra said to the council. But her contact with the human has made her unstable. Her body is mutating and her emotions are out of control. This is why we don't mix with Earth species. Valari heard her words broadcast through the comm tower and felt her heart shatter. The person who had once told her she could be anything, now said she was broken. Raiden found her in the greenhouse that night, sitting under the glowing crystal trees, alone. I should leave, Valari whispered. Before they take everything from you, Raiden shook his head. You think I care about my job now? I don't want you to lose your future because of my body, because of my feelings. He kneeled in front of her. Valari, listen to me. What's happening between us? It's not a mistake, it's rare, it's real. Maybe it scares them because they've never seen it before. But we're not doing anything wrong. She touched his face softly. But they'll never see it. That way, Raiden stood up and took a deep breath. Then maybe it's time we show them the truth. The next day, Raiden walked into the council chamber alone. He placed a vial on the table labeled Serum Reaction Sample, Velari Genome. And then he said something no human had said before on Velmara 9. This is not a scandal. This is a discovery. You're not witnessing contamination, you're witnessing connection. Something rare. Something beautiful. You fear it because it's human. But maybe what you fear is how deeply human love can reach into your kind. Back in the crowd, Valari stood in silence, her heart racing, her body glowing softly through. Her clothes, everyone was watching her now. But for the first time, she didn't blush out of shame. She blushed with pride. The sabotage. While the council debated Raiden's speech in secret chambers, something far darker was happening in the shadows of the alien station. Dr. Krezel, an ambitious and bitter alien geneticist, watched the data logs from Raiden and Valari's tests with narrowed eyes. His own research had been ignored for years. He believed emotions were dangerous, love was weakness, and bonding with humans was a disease. Now, with one strange human and one glowing alien girl making headlines across Velmara 9, Krezel had decided he wouldn't be ignored anymore. He broke into the backup lab where Raiden had stored unused samples of the original serum. With quiet, shaking fingers, he added a single drop of his own unstable growth compound, a chemical meant for war beasts, not people. Let's see how much they like bonding when their bodies can't stop growing, Krezel whispered. He resealed the vial and made sure it looked untouched, and then he waited. That night, Raiden and Valari returned to the lab, unaware of the tampering. They were preparing for one final test, one that would prove their bond was not a side effect but a natural phenomenon. I still feel nervous, Valari admitted, sitting on the examination table. What if I lose control again? You won't, Raiden said gently, because I'm here. Valari nodded, placing her trust in him again. Raiden loaded the serum sample, the one Krezel had poisoned. The drop touched Valari's skin. Within seconds, her body pulsed. Her veins lit up. She gasped and grabbed her chest as a burning heat exploded inside her. Raiden's face turned pale. No, this isn't right. Valari's skin began glowing uncontrollably, her body expanding rapidly, not just her chest but her limbs, her muscles, her back. Her breathing became sharp and fast. Her eyes rolled back for a moment. Raiden grabbed the antidote gun, injecting her with a reversal agent. Valari collapsed in his arms, panting. Her skin returned to normal, but she was shaking all over. I couldn't stop it, she whispered, tears in her eyes. It wasn't like last time, and it felt like I was becoming a monster. Raiden checked the vial. His hands trembled. This isn't the serum we made. Suddenly, alarms blared across the station. Emergency. Medical. Bay infiltration reported. Several alien cadets are showing signs of rapid mutation. Raiden and Valari ran to the observation hall. Dozens of young alien trainees, Valari's classmates, were writhing on the floor, bodies twisted and stretched unnaturally. Some were screaming. Others were breaking walls. A few had collapsed, completely. Raiden's voice went cold. Someone used our formula to harm them. They'll blame you, Valari said, her eyes wide. You're the human, and I'm already bonded to you. Raiden turned to her. Then we have to find proof. Fast. They rushed back to the lab. Raiden hacked the vial storage logs. One name blinked on the screen. Krasil. Valari's eyes burned with rage. He did this. He wanted to ruin you, ruin us. Raiden nodded. And now he's going to pay. But before they could act, the station doors slammed shut. Lockdown engaged. Krasil's voice echoed through the speakers. Attention council members, citizens, and staff. The traitor Raiden Miles has corrupted our young. He must be handed over at once, or this station will fall. Valari stared at Raiden, trembling. They want to destroy you, she said. Raiden met her gaze. Then let's give them a reason to fear me and respect you. She took his hand, and together, bonded by emotion, fire, and truth, they stepped out into the chaos, ready to fight not just for love, but for the future of two worlds, her body, his courage. The halls of Velmara 9 were no longer calm and glowing. They were shaking with chaos. Mutated cadets crashed through glass walls, some crawling on all fours, others swollen with unstable growths. Sirens howled. Medical bots short-circuited. Security officers were overwhelmed. Raiden and Valari ducked into the emergency corridor, hearts racing. Raiden held a backpack filled with antidotes he created on the spot, untested, risky, but their only chance to save lives. Valari clutched her chest. The surge from the poison serum hadn't fully faded. Her body still pulsed with power, barely under control. I can feel something inside me, she whispered. It's like fire. Like a second skin under mine, waiting to break out. Raiden looked at her carefully. What if that's not a curse? What if it's your real form trying to wake up? In ancient Velmaran history, there were stories of rare females who could transform into radiant protectors when bonded by emotion. It hadn't happened in centuries. Most believed it was just a myth. Until now. Raiden took her hand. Don't fight it anymore. Let it happen. Valari closed her eyes. The floor beneath her cracked. Her body began to glow again. But this time it didn't twist or burn. It shimmered. A smooth, blinding light pulsed from her skin. Her form shifted, gracefully, powerfully. Her silver hair floated like smoke. Her eyes turned into twin suns of violet. Her body, once soft and delicate, became elegant and strong, an image of beauty, danger, and divinity. She had become a guardian. Raiden stepped back, amazed. You're incredible. Valari smiled, floating inches off the ground. Let's stop this madness. Together they raced to the central chamber, where mutated cadets were surrounding a trapped group of researchers. One massive cadet, nearly twice his normal size, roared and charged forward. Before he could strike, Valari appeared in front of them like a beam of light. She raised one hand. The beast froze in place. Sleep, she whispered. A ripple of glowing energy surged from her palm. The mutated cadet fell to the floor peacefully, shrinking back to normal. Raiden tossed antidotes to the others. Valari's energy is weakening the mutation. These doses will fix the rest. He rushed through the battlefield, injecting cadets while dodging their wild attacks. One of them almost slashed his face, but Valari appeared behind him in a blink, shielding him with her glowing arm. You're insane, she said with a smile. You're a human scientist, not a hero. Raiden chuckled, sweat dripping down his brow. Someone has to be brave when you're busy glowing. Suddenly, the main control doors burst open. Krasil stepped in wearing a mechanical battlesuit made of dark steel and pulsing red wires. His voice boomed. You ruined everything. That formula was supposed to give me power, and he pointed at Valari. You were supposed to prove humans are weak. Instead, you became one of us. Valari's eyes narrowed. You tried to break me, but I only became stronger. Krezel fired a beam of energy at her. She blocked it with a single glowing shield. Then she dashed forward, faster than light, and slammed into him. His armor cracked. Raiden leapt onto the console nearby and overloaded the station's power grid, locking Krezel's suit in place. Valari raised her glowing hand. This is for every girl you made feel ashamed of her body. And her feelings. She struck. Krezel's suit exploded in sparks. He fell unconscious. The chaos ended. The mutated cadets were healed. The council members, shaken but safe, arrived at the scene and saw Valari, hovering in mid-air, glowing with gentle light, holding Raiden's hand in front of the fallen villain, the same girl they had mocked. Now, she was a legend. Raiden looked up at her and whispered, "You're not just beautiful, Valari, you're brave." She smiled, cheeks glowing again, not from mutation, but from love. The blush that saved worlds. The station was quiet again, where there was once fear, fire, and broken walls. Now there was light, healing, and whispers of awe. Valari stood on the highest platform in the council chamber, her skin still softly glowing, her form calm and strong. No longer hiding, no longer ashamed. She wore no jacket this time. Her chest, once the center of gossip, was now a symbol of power, transformation, and courage. Next to her stood Raiden, the human scientist who started it all with a single accident and ended up changing not only one alien girl, but an entire world's view of humanity. A massive crowd had gathered from all across Velmara 9, alien scholars, scientists, citizens, and even children. The council elder, his face serious, addressed the platform. Valari, daughter of Velshan, what you have become is rare. We once feared this power. We feared humans. We feared your choice to bond. But now we cannot deny what we saw with our own eyes. He looked at Raiden. And you, Raiden Miles, you showed us something stronger than technology. You showed us compassion. You risked your life not to destroy us, but to protect one of us. A silence fell across the chamber. Then the elder stepped forward. We no longer see you as a contaminant. We see you as family. The chamber erupted in applause. Some aliens cried, some bowed, and many, for the first time in Velmaran history, smiled at a human. Later, in the gardens beneath the twin moons, Valari and Raiden sat under the same crystal tree where she had once cried alone. Now she laughed softly, leaning her head on his shoulder. You know, she said, when you spilled that serum on me, I thought I'd die from embarrassment. Raiden chuckled. And now you're a space goddess. She playfully slapped his arm. Don't call me that. He looked at her seriously. Then what should I call you? She paused, then smiled. Yours. Raiden's heart skipped. Valari turned to him, cheeks glowing that now famous violet blush. I still don't understand everything about love, but I know that when you held me, I felt safe. When you looked at me, I felt seen. And when you believed in me, I felt alive. He gently took her hand. You didn't need me to become strong, you already were. I just helped you see it. They leaned closer, and finally, with the stars above and the past behind them, they kissed, soft, real, honest. Across Velmara 9, stories of the bonded girl and the human spread like firelight in winter. Girls who once feared their bodies stood taller. Boys who once mocked learned to admire, and aliens who once hated humans began to wonder. Maybe Earth wasn't just a death world. Maybe it was a place where even the softest heart could survive. Maybe it was a place where love could bloom, unexpected, wild, and beautiful. And all it took was one serum, one accident, and one unforgettable blush.